So I'm at halftime for the Washington game, okay? And I can tell you this is the first time I've seen Dan Quinn on the sideline for the Washington Commanders during one of their games this season because I just haven't been aligned to watch their games. And what I can say about the Commanders is it looks like Jaden Daniels is the truth. And that's going to be a problem for the Cowboys. This division is going to be, for the first time in a while, a three-horse race. And it's been a while since that's been the case. I don't really know what else to say about it. They look good. I'm strong enough in my fandom to reluctantly or not reluctantly say, hey, Washington looks good. They have just as much of a right to say that they can win this division as the Eagles. Dare I say they may have more of a right to say that than the Cowboys do right now? Let's be clear. Even though I think it's a three-horse race for this division between the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Commanders, the Cowboys are in a tough spot because they don't know what type of a team they are. They don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball, and they don't know if their defense is really, because, hey, let's face it, the Giants, that's all I need to say. They don't really know if they can stop the run. Now, it's a long season. We're 4 weeks in. What happens today doesn't determine what this season is going to look like. It just determines what the standings are going into week 5. And so far, with an Eagles loss today, because that happened, and the reason why I say that is because you don't know what the Eagles look like either. They don't have their wide receivers. And hey, again, I said that earlier today during the Philly game. I want to beat a team at their best because I don't want there to be excuses. We're not at our best. We've got players that are out. That's a known thing. It's a fact. Facts are the Eagles are missing people. The Eagles are injured right now. The Eagles are hurt. Washington's the healthiest team in this division right now. And Jaden Daniels is the truth. He's putting the ball where he needs to. I mean, he had an interception so far in the first half, but I still felt like that ball was in the right spot. I think the defender just made a better play than the receiver did. There's 3 things that you have to know going up for a pass when you're going to be in the air trying to receive the ball. Where's the defender? Where is the ball? And where am I? And I don't think he thought that through, and it's difficult. The NFL is a tough sport. To have those 3 things in mind when you're going up in a split decision where you can't make mistakes, anything can happen. Washington hasn't punted the ball up until the last 3 minutes of this first half of this game in 3 games. They scored field goals or touchdowns every single drive. Arizona found a way to stop them. Hey, who knows? Maybe that's something that teams start figuring out a way to stop Washington from just having their way down the field and getting within scoring range. But it looks like those guys over there in D.C. have put together a team that can stand a chance to win this division. Now it's up to the Cowboys, it's up to Philadelphia to make their own way. And, hey, on the other side of that, Washington has to play the Eagles twice. They have to play Dallas twice. So, nothing is guaranteed. The ball bounces funny sometimes. Washington can win this division. They absolutely can. I think he's having a very similar looking season his rookie year that Dak had. Protecting the ball very well. Putting the ball in the right spots. Exceptional talent around him to get down the field and make strong plays. converting on third down, and limiting the time of possession for your opponent. That's what Washington has done with Jaden Daniels this far, from what I've seen. Very reminiscent of what Dak did. Now, I'm curious to see what Washington does against some stronger opponents, and we'll get a chance to see that. But I think to sit and say that this is Philadelphia's division this year, or that this is the Cowboys' division this year, you'd be foolish. You've got to open up and you've got to be able to say, hey, we got a road ahead of us. As a Cowboys fan, I can say that. I can say that. But what I won't say is that we're going to lose or that we're not going to win this division. I'm saying that there's a chance for any one of those three teams to find a way. It's not over. It's not written in stone. Cowboys have to do something about the fact that they don't have a run game. If that's Dalvin Cook, figure it out. They've got to find out what they're going to do about a wide receiver. If that's Flournoy, put him on the field, let him cook, see what happens. If you don't have a guy in the building at running back or wide receiver to make your offense be competitive against Washington, you need to go find someone. And if you can't find anybody, you're leaving the door open for either Washington or Philadelphia to come in and take the division. Do I think you can get into the playoffs? Absolutely. Do I think you're a contender for a Super Bowl? We're not talking about that. I've had 3 people already in the last week say, go ahead and say it, go ahead and say it. Y'all beat the Giants, so go ahead and say it. What are you talking about? Oh, you know, the famous line, go ahead and say it. No, that's not me. I'll wait until I see something that's actually going to show me that they have that ability. In 2016, I said it. In 2014, I said it. In 2007, I said it. In 2009, I said it. And I would say in 2022, I said it. I was like, man, this team can win a Super Bowl. That didn't happen. So you can see where I'm a little bit like, just because we're having a good year, it doesn't mean that we're going to. The opportunity is there. Go look at what the Giants did the last 2 Super Bowl runs that they had. Go look at their season. Go look at how they started. Go look at what they looked like in Week 6, in Week 5, in Week 4. Tell me what they looked like. Do your research. So, yeah, there is an opportunity for them to get into the playoffs and make some noise and do something and get all the way and upset a team at the Super Bowl. Opportunity is there for anybody. Tampa Bay, for the Saints, for the Falcons, who beat the Saints today. The opportunity is there for a number of teams to have the same kind of luck that the Giants had. That's why it's hard to say that this team can go win a Super Bowl. This team can win some games. They can do well. They can win the division. They can secure a spot in the playoffs. And that's what the goal is for now. Once you secure that spot, the goal changes. But for now, it's Week 4. We're going into Week 5. The Eagles have a bye week. Commanders look to be the truth. Cowboys found a way to stop the run against the Giants, who didn't have a problem running the ball the week before they played us. If the coaches can show the Cowboys players what they did exceptionally well against the Giants and say, look, it is in there. It is there. Let's build upon that. Steelers lost today against Indianapolis. They didn't have their starting quarterback because they mismanaged their quarterback. They put their quarterback out there hurt and told him, hey, go run the ball with a bad hip. They put a 65-year-old quarterback out there today in Joe Flacco. And they lost. So you're going to get a pissed-off Steelers team. I wouldn't say just like you got a pissed-off Ravens team, but let's face it, Steelers were 3-0, and they just took a loss to a backup quarterback that's 85 years old. So, yeah, the Steelers are not happy right now. Mike Tomlin is not happy right now. He just had the best start he's had in a long time. And now they're getting ready to play us on Sunday Night Football in Pittsburgh, back home. They don't have to play a 95-year-old quarterback next week. You got to use that as your advantage. But, again, if your defense is going to allow the run, Najee Harris is a monster. If your offense doesn't have any wide receivers, guess what? Their DBs are going to eat your lunch with these receivers that you have right now. If CeeDee Lamb is the only good wide receiver you put out there on the field, you're in trouble. You better have an answer for them. You got a little bit of time left. We'll see. But Washington looks like they're the truth, man. Got to figure something out. Hope you do. In the meantime, we're going to enjoy the rest of this week. And we'll pick back up later. Still go Cowboys.